From ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
And a different kind of good neighbor policy, a new movement saving marriages by turning to the power of church and community. Our series, Key to Success. Finally tonight, more of our series, Key to Success. We've been looking at simple solutions to some of the country's biggest challenges. And tonight, it is for better or for worse. Is there a secret to successful marriage? Well, there's a new movement that says there is, but you have to look outside the marriage and involve the community. Those taking part in the movement say they're seeing real results. And ABC's Dan Harris has tonight's Key to Success from Oregon.
In Clackamas County, Oregon, tucked between the cafes and microbreweries of Portland and the misty peak of Mount Hood, more than 170 churches have banded together in defense of love and marriage. The churches are doing things like organizing date nights for married couples, instituting very strict rules for couples getting married,
and we want you to be talking to each other,
and encouraging older couples to act as marriage mentors.
There you go. There you go.
The driving force behind this anti-divorce effort is this rather unassuming couple, Tom and Liz Dressel.
You've said that you started this mission because at one point your marriage was rotten.
Yeah, it was rotten. It was very dark. There was no love there. Alcohol had come in. I just dreaded when Tom came through the door every night.
My focus was my job. I loved it. My marriage and my children were secondary.
So what did it? What turned it around?
I think it was bringing the Lord into our lives. Lord, we ask your blessing.
Through faith and a lot of hard work, the Dressels came back from the brink.
I'd never dreamed that I could have the relationship we have today.
They won't claim perfection, however.
He still drives you nuts sometimes.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Kidding aside, the Dressels are now sort of marriage missionaries. 6 years ago, they organized nearly every church in the county to sign on to something called a community marriage policy, which, among other things, requires every couple contemplating marriage to undergo 4 premarital mentoring sessions. Priests and pastors like these say they will no longer perform so-called quickie weddings.
They need to think a lot more about what lies ahead and what they are really committing themselves to.
They're often just saying, just do this, as if it's some kind of simple act. And we see it as
like calling a plumber or something.
Exactly.
Right now, they're kind of thinking about getting ready for a day, and premarital preparation gets them ready for a marriage.
Sometimes it's been easy for me to feel like maybe you're not listening.
We met Leanne Seward and Doug White as they were doing their premarital preparation with Tom and Liz Dressel.
Through counseling and stuff, I've learned to be a better listener.
They had to fill out a very detailed premarital inventory on everything from finances to parenting to religion to communication styles.
Do you think there are things you've learned in the counseling sessions that will prevent you from a failed marriage?
Yeah, absolutely. Conflict management, number one.
Yes.
We're not afraid to, get out there, and we're not afraid to fight. We're not people that keep things in, and so we have to be extra careful with that.
As part of this community marriage policy, churches are also agreeing to promote programs that strengthen existing marriages, like this date night at the evangelical church the Dressels attend. Couples drop off their kids, sit for a brief video,
revitalize your marriage
and then head out for a dinner.
This is a nice way where we have a chance to talk, to see if there is a problem, to see if there's something that's going on. Because frankly, at home it can be so hectic that you just don't know. It's difficult to just sit down and have us time.
The divorce rate in Clackamas County dropped by 15% in the first 5 years of the community marriage policy. And while the Dressels admit they can't prove their policy is what did it, they and religious leaders here feel the policy is in fact saving marriages and protecting children from the pain of divorce. The Dressels recently went to Doug and Leanne's wedding.
We have seen your love grow.
Support for Doug and Leanne's marriage will not end at the altar. If couples get in trouble, support groups are available, led by seasoned mentor couples like the Dressels.
But a blessing carries a great responsibility.
Confident they say that it will succeed because these newlyweds believe that marriage is no mere legal contract, it is a covenant with God.
Mr. and Mrs. Doug and Leanne White.
Dan Harris, ABC News, Clackamas County, Oregon.
And we have a great deal more about community-based marriage programs. You can find it at abcnews.com. And that is our special edition of World News for this Monday. I'm Charlie Gibson.